Hello, my name is Daniel Gray of Vero Logistics, driver manager. Just want to go over some helpful tips today on how to load asparagus properly. All right, so we're going to begin the inspection of the pallet. The first thing you would want to check on your pallets are the bands securing them. They're going to have a little room, but you want to make sure they don't have more than this here, that they're holding the side pieces in place, which should be located on four corners of the pallet. So we go down through here. This is an example of a band that had to be re-scrapped because it had too much play. So they had to re-scrap it with a second one. We want to do a walk around of the pallet to make sure we don't have any broken pieces that might be given on the sideway that might cause it to tip over forward or to the sides. So we'll go around, check the outer perimeters of the asparagus to make sure none of the cases are crushed at the bottom layer. Mainly when layers this low here are crushed, they start to give and cave in, and that's what caused some of the asparagus to wake over. So we check these, we continue going around, going. So we see that all the bands, pallets are inspected pretty good, so we don't have any broken pallets or any damages. So this would be considered a good pallet to load in, and we will begin the process of pinwheeling and airbagging the pallets into place. Okay, so this pallet would be good to go onto the trailer. So now we'll move on to the next step of showing how to pinwheel the pallet securely. Beginning to load the pallet's pinwheel. First thing you want to do is make sure this pallet is flush against the wall. There should be no space in between this pallet and the wall. And if you notice, this one here is put in straight ahead. So this is the front facing loading of a pallet. The next process into pinwheeling is the pallet next to it. You notice it's flush. There's no space in between here. Flush up against pallet to pallet on this here. But this one is sideways. And what this action causes it to do is to lock it in. Now, when you move over to this next section, you will have a space here. This is the key importance of making sure you have an airbag located, because it's going to stop the asparagus from being able to rock from side to side, which is causing the domino effect of the pallets knocking over. And then we will move to the next set, and it will be just the opposite. Now, if you notice, this is the second row of pinwheels being put in. Notice we're starting on the opposite side on this one. So the first one was going to the right, now we're going to the left, flush against the trailer wall. The pallet in front of this is sideways, this one is facing frontways. Moving over to the second pallet next to it, we'll see that this is loaded sideways. So it's interlocking it in on there. Now, as you proceed over to the space to where you have the airbag over here, you should notice that you should be able to look directly behind and see the next set of asparagus in behind. And we're going to repeat this process throughout the entire loading of the trailer from opposite sides. Now we're going to loading the load locks onto the secure the pallet. In this situation here, we have two shorter stacks in front. If these pallets were not here, we would have two going vertical, two going horizontal. But because we have these two lower stacks here, we're only going to have two going vertically across. And you see this still has the airbag in the side to follow through with the pinwheel action and stop it to move. So now we're just going to go ahead and begin to show how to install the load locks. The key part here is to make sure when you're opening up your load locks that if you get one angle in here, and you want to come at an angle. And the reason that you come at this angle is because you want to bam it in some. And that way you can lock it in just a little bit tight. So now that you have it in like this, maybe take it in a little bit more. Now we're going to proceed with our other load locks. Thank you. You're going to gently place the padding on, and we're going to knock this back into place. Now once in place like this here, this load lock is secure. Not going to move, not going to roll anywhere. So the key part is to make sure that you put your load lock in at an angle. You want to put your base in flush against one, but your other end, you want to come out at a little bit of an angle so that you can proceed to bam it back into place. And this will help putting the load lock in securely. Now we're going to put one more on this top part. Just and we're going to repeat the same process with securing this on the top. We're going to do the same thing. Key part, if you want to look at the angle, when it is all said and done, if you look at it, there should be a slight angle space in between from the asparagus. And then once you begin to knock this place, you will see that it comes in tighter. So we get the end of it. This helps secure the load locks in. You don't have to worry about them moving. And this is a helpful way and an example to show how to secure asparagus and to minimize the chances of it being flipped over or rejection or claims. So going through the final checkpoints of loading the asparagus, we want to make sure that we follow the pinwheel going in, that we have the pin row and alternating on every other sections. We want to remember to check for bands to make sure straps are tight. We want to check the cases to make sure there are no damages on any levels going around the entire pallet. We want to also make sure when we come into the end that we have our load locks placed in at an angle and knocking in towards the end. That way we can put them firmly in place. Like I say, in this example here, if this two pallets were not here, we would have had two going across and two going vertical. But since we have a short stack, this is securing this here. So once you get this in place, you should see your load locks as close as they are. They should be in place, not moving anywhere, and this will help minimize any moving or damages. Keynote also that we didn't get a chance to cover is also make sure the pulping of the product to make sure that we have the correct temperature on the asparagus when pulping it with our pulp guns. And that's a wrap. Thank you once again. My name is Daniel Gray. I'm the driver manager at Vero Logistics. If you have any questions, you can contact me at 954-732-2283 and can help with any issues that we might have with loading asparagus. Thank you.